Hi, I'm Rebecca Ray. I'm the Assistant Dean for Admissions and Financial Aid here at the University of Illinois College of Law. I'm here with our Executive Assistant Dean for Career Planning and Professional Development, Greg Miarecki. Dean Miarecki, you want to tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, Becky, thanks for having me. Yeah, my background, I'm not the traditional sort of academic guy. I graduated from law school in 1997, and I was at a firm called Winston & Strawn, which is a law firm up in Chicago. I practiced litigation there for about 14 years. I was a partner there for a number of different years, and I handled complex commercial and white-collar criminal litigation matters. While I was at Winston, I developed a bit of reputation for managing large teams of associates and training students how to become better lawyers, and so that's ultimately what led me here to the University of Illinois.
Great. Do you want to describe the Office of Career Planning and Professional Development?
Sure. So I am actually based in Chicago. That's because many employers are based in Chicago, and many of our students want to be there, and many of our alums are there after they graduate. So I'm based in Chicago. I've got a team of attorney counselors that are fantastic. They're based here in Champaign, and they all have extensive practice experience. In fact, one of them, I think at least one of them, practiced at the same firm that Dean Ray did, Sidley Austin, and they all have practice experience from a number of different perspectives. And we also have a couple of administrative assistants, Valita and Carlene, that help run our office. So,
and provide candy.
And they provide candy too. So that's the structure of the office. And one of the things that we try to do is we try to provide very intensive counseling to help our students understand what the legal world is really like. And having practiced for many years, our folks are pretty well equipped to be able to do that. And we think if you're going to be a good lawyer, it's helpful to talk with people who have been in the profession and who understand the lay of the land.
What kind of programs or services does your office provide to University of Illinois students?
Sure. Well, there's quite a few of them, and I won't go through all of them here. I don't want to bore everybody with all of the details. But one of the things that we really try to do a very good job on is very aggressive one-on-one counseling, aggressive in a good way. Everybody's got a different path, and everyone's got different qualifications, so there is no one-size-fits-all type of approach. So we really emphasize one-on-one counseling here, and so you'll get to know your attorney counselor and me very well by the end of your 3 years. We also have a number of opportunities to connect with alumni and employers. So for example, one of the things we host every year is something called our First Look Reception, where we introduce 1Ls to some of the larger firms. We follow that up the very next day with an evening and public service reception, where we give students the opportunity to meet with public service folks and government folks. And we bring in alumni all throughout the year, working both collaboratively with our student organizations, and then building programs such as our Alumni Student Career Conference, where we bring in alums from around the country to meet with students and talk to them about careers and give them career coaching, mock interviews, panel discussions, things of that nature. We also have something very exciting called our Professionalism Day, where we take the 1L class to Chicago, and we visit probably over 40 sites during the course of the day. And it's a very exciting opportunity to be able to get to know a lot of employers in the area, whether it be law firms, judges, government agencies, public service agencies, and in-house legal departments. So that's just a sort of a small sampling of some of the programs that we have.
Great. And you teach a class called Fundamentals of Legal Practice, which is required for all 1Ls. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the class?
In my years of practice, I always saw that people were very good at knowing the difference between a tort and a contract, and very good at legal research and writing. But what students or young lawyers didn't really understand was kind of the business of law, the concept of how to communicate effectively in a legal organization, or how to lead a team, the so-called soft skills that you hear a lot about. And I had other people sort of complain along the same lines. And so when I took this position, I went to employers and said, well, what could we do better? And they all universally said, you need to do more to help students understand these things like leadership, business development and marketing, communications. So the Fundamentals of Legal Practice class focuses exclusively on those kinds of things that are often the difference between success and failure in the legal profession.
What would you tell somebody thinking about applying to Illinois law?
So I think it's a great time actually to go to law school. About 6 or 7 years ago, the legal market was much tougher. The economy was in a very dramatic slowdown. I think it's a good time to go to law school now because the sizes of law schools, student bodies have shrunk. And there's starting in some sectors to be a shortage of lawyers. And so that's that's good news for all of you that are thinking about going to law school. Obviously, we have no idea what the economy will look like in the next 4, 8, 12 years. But overall, there's fewer people going to law school right now. And so I think that's, the law of supply and demand suggests that would work in the favor of people graduating from law school in the next 3 to 5 years.
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.